How is this program different from or compared to parts of the USA Patriot Act, especially government access to library records or computer files?
Many people have wondered whether the NSA's spy program really represents the same type of thing the government's been doing with the Patriot Act. I'd have to say, this is really an extension of what the government has been doing in terms of seeking library records. But it's even worse, because at least with the Patriot Act case, they were required to go after individuals as to whom they thought there was some suspicion of wrongdoing. But here they're going after tens of millions of people against whom there's no possible way to believe they've done anything wrong. They're simply spying on the records of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million people or more without the slightest reason to believe these people are connected with terrorism. So these violations are even worse than the government's abuse of the Patriot Act and represents a vaster intrusion into civil liberties. I think what we're seeing is a growth in the expansion of the government's power. Not only do they violate the very limited rules in the Patriot Act, but here they're going after the records and conversations of tens of millions of people.
These unprecedented intrusions on Americans' privacy rights and violations of their civil liberties should be opposed by the Democratic Party. It shouldn't be up to two public interest lawyers. We've been doing these types of public interest cases for 20 years. It shouldn't be up to us to challenge the Bush administration on this. The Democratic Party should be issuing these subpoenas. They should be engaged in litigation against this government. And I don't know why they're so afraid. I know why they say they're so afraid. They say if we stand up for Americans' privacy rights and challenge the government on civil liberties, we'll be seen as weak on defense. They are as cowardly as the Republicans in standing up for American civil rights and civil liberties. And it's not just progressives like ourselves who are outraged by this, but it's also libertarians and people who believe in limited government, that would be called conservatives, who think this is an outrageous abuse of government power. It's an outrageous abuse of corporate power by the phone companies that have turned over these records improperly. In fact, one CEO of a phone corporation, the CEO of Quest Communications, Joe Naccio, he was asked to turn over his customer records. He said, I'm not doing it unless you get a warrant by a court, unless you get a court warrant. They never got the warrant, so he never turned them over. So why can't the CEO, the other CEOs, follow Naccio's lead and protect our privacy? Why can't the Democrats stand up for the citizens' privacy? Where are the state attorney generals? Eliot Spitzer isn't on the caper here. He must be slumbering. Where's the Attorney General of California, Bill Lockyer?
Bruce, do you believe that this massive call monitoring could be considered a backdoor way of implementing John Poindexter's Total Information Awareness Program?
I think there's no doubt that what the administration is doing is trying to impose this total awareness program on the vast majority of American citizens. And they're sneaking it under the radar by saying, we're fighting terrorism by violating your privacy. This is just a way for government to gain control over people. We spoke with one scientist from Boston University who works on neural networking, and he said, this is no different than what computer scientists have all seen, that when the government tracks information like this, what it's doing is creating social networks and learning who people talk with. So an anti-war activist can be tracked in all of her communications. A Democratic Party member or a Libertarian Party member can all be tracked, and the government can learn as to whom they speak with all day long. And by using this kind of information, this total awareness, the government learns exactly who its adversaries are communicating with.
Carl Mayer and Bruce Afran, thank you for joining us, and good luck with the lawsuit.
The International News Network report is broadcast television in more than 20 million homes in America. We are non-commercial, non-profit, and we are viewer-supported. That is how we can bring you these kinds of stories and interviews 5 days a week. Keep INN broadcasting. Please go to our website, INNWorldReport.net, and contribute what you can. You can also email us at INNWorldReport@gmail.com. Thank you.